Hey guys, it's Christina, and today what I'm kind of thinking about is relationships and what makes for healthy relationships. I think a lot of us have complicated relationships in our lives. I certainly do. Sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's a significant other, it may be a kid, that we're raising. Uh, when complicated relationships come up, it's usually because there's a lack of communication or a strain on the relationship from an outside force. But ultimately, maintaining and having a healthy relationship and getting it to thrive, it requires the efforts of both people. And I read this really cool post on Facebook the other day talking about relationships thriving over time and what it really takes. And the first thing it says is healing from our pasts. And so, it takes both people, and both people need to remember that the other person is probably bringing their own pain triggers to their relationship, their own hurts and traumas from the past. So there's that we need to take ownership of and be aware of, and then owning our triggers. So, when we recognize that there's something that somebody does to us specifically over and over again, that kind of thing always triggers us. We have to take ownership of that and recognize it, and then go back to trying to heal that thing. It doesn't happen easily, believe me. And then, this one to me is the most important one, which is what makes a relationship thrive over time is the courage to have hard conversations. I think that, at least for myself, the things I've been through in the past have at times made me shut down and keep inside things that were painful or difficult to talk about with a person that I cared about because I was afraid of how they would react. Maybe I thought that they would become angry or that they might be hurt or that, I might lose or damage that relationship because I expressed something that was important to me or something that I was feeling. And I've worked over the years to try to find appropriate ways to communicate with people about difficult things. But one thing that I've learned is that um, the more I can open up and share myself and be vulnerable with people and tell them about what's on my mind and what I'm feeling, the healthier ones who are willing to be open in return and reciprocate typically really value that, and they really appreciate that I trusted them enough to come and speak with them, as well as it shows them that I have a lot of confidence in myself and I trust myself to share how I'm feeling with them. I'm also reading this really great book by Brene Brown called Braving the Wilderness. And it's the quest for true belonging and the courage to stand alone. Again, I think that because we always feel like we want to have a sense of belonging to something, that we're afraid of losing that sense of belonging. And so we don't want to put ourselves out there and take the risk of exposing our true feelings. But again, we're not really doing ourselves any favor by making that assumption in relationships. And in this chapter that she wrote called People Are Hard to Hate, Close Up, Move In, she was talking to Viola Davis, the actress that you guys know from The Help and How to Get Away with Murder and Fences with Denzel Washington. She's a fantastic actress, one of my favorites. And I guess apparently, there's something that Viola and I share in common, which is a pretty traumatic childhood that we had. Different, the experiences, but similar in that as she became an adult and she realized that she had fear of communicating, she was confronted by the fact that it was due to childhood traumas that she had been through, where when she communicated, it created a fearful situation for her. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a great deal of compassion for anybody that has been through something like I've been through or Viola's been through, that it makes that ability for them to have healthy relationships more difficult. But what Viola did and what I've done is taken ownership of that, because I want to have healthy relationships. I want to have healthy friendships, and I want to get better as a human being. I want to be happy. So I have reached out and sought, guidance through life coaches, books such as this. I approach my life from a more spiritual path than some people do, but it's helped me. Whatever it is that might work for you, just understand that even though we don't think they will be, people that love and care about us also want to know how we feel and care about how we feel. And we're not going to scare those people off. We're not going to lose them. Even if we hurt them by what we say, we're still showing them that we love them by being honest with them. And that is tremendous. So I'm going to keep trying to do that in my relationships today and every day, and hope that it works. Hope that just being vulnerable and being willing to trust the other person enough to share myself with them works. And also, I'm doing it first and foremost for myself, because like this book says, you have to belong to yourself before you can belong to anybody else. So if you're in the world today and you're encountering people and you're having a difficult time communicating how you think and feel with those people, maybe just pause a minute and reflect on, what in you that needs to be healed. Own what your triggers were in the interaction that you were involved with that person. And more than anything, be courageous and be willing to have the hard conversations, because rip that Band-Aid off, get it dealt with and done, and move on to where you can both get to a healing place in the relationship, and one of mutual respect and love. So be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others today, and have a good day.